Hello, everyone, and welcome to our panel. I can see everybody is joining us. I'll just give it a few seconds for everyone to come through. Hope you all enjoyed the presentation with Flavio and the findings from the research, and we will delve into that a little bit more deeply. Welcome, everyone. I can see you're all joining. So welcome to our panel discussion. Hello, Elle. I can see a hello from you. Hello to you. So we're now going to be exploring in our panel discussion how to actually sell Italy as an LGBT+ destination, drilling down into some of the finer detail with our fantastic panel. So just to introduce everyone, we are joined here live by Flavio, who you just met in the other session. We've also got Rosalie Riva, founder of Let's Wed, and Giovanna Ceccarini, sales manager for Saunders and Beach tour operator. Now, we're going to begin this afternoon's panel discussion with brief presentations, first from Giovanna and then from Rosalie. Now, they're going to share their screens to present. When you're watching it, if you click speaker, so at the top of the screen, on my screen, it's just above Rosalie's head, but you'll see there's buttons that says gallery and speaker. So if you click on speaker, it means that it will blow up that screen and then you can see the presentation more clearly. Just a reminder, please do drop any questions that you might have into the chat. You know, this is all about a learning exercise. So we want to put as many of your questions as we can to our fantastic panelists. So Giovanna, can I hand over to you and ask you to explain a little bit more about yourself and give us your presentation?
Sure. Okay. So thank you very much, first of all, to invite me to this fantastic panel, which is extremely important for Italy. And well, I just introduced a couple of words about myself. I'm a brand manager within Saunders and Beach, which is an Italian company, travel company, but also a sales manager at Quickie, which is a specialized LGBTQ+ tour operator. If you don't mind, I would go with my presentation so we can go into details about the presentation itself.
Brilliant. And hello to everyone saying hello. We can see all your lovely messages, so keep them coming.
Okay. All right. Hope everybody can see my presentation. So it's well, it's about Saunders and Beach. One of Saunders and Beach brands is a Quickie Travel, which can provide unique experiences in Italy for the gay community. And specifically, Saunders and Beach is a multi-brand group of travel facility management, not just the tour operator is part of Saunders and Beach. And it is located into Italy, in Milan, but also it has offices in San Francisco. Who we are, Saunders and Beach is a tourist multi-brand company meeting the LGBTQ+ travelers' needs at 360 degrees. And it is composed of several divisions. One is Saunders Hotels, which is strictly connected with hotel management and provides hotel facility management, consultancy, training, and so on. Quickie Tour Operator, which is the specialized, highly focused tour operator inbound for the LGBTQ+ community. Quickie Magazine, which is the LGBTQ+ travel online and printed media supporting Quickie Tour Operator, and also Wimbify, which is a new app where we are working a lot in order to promote the opportunity to give the LGBTQ+ scene and a tool to visit Italy as a local. Also, I can also announce that we are online with a new portal, which is queervadis.com, introducing Italy as an LGBTQ+ destination. And it addresses especially North America, Canada, and Northern Europe. What do we do as a Saunders and Beach group? Well, actually, we are not just a travel agent. We are not just travel agents. We are not just tour operators. We are something more than that. Our main commitment is to highlight cultural and historic highlights strictly connected with Italian history, and a lot of Italian history has to do with great, famous names such as Michelangelo or Leonardo da Vinci, for example. But also we do advocate and educate the Italian travel industry to welcoming the LGBTQ+ traveler. And in this case, Saunders Hotels Academy plays a big role in partnership with the Italian Association for Gay and Lesbian Travel. As far as the educating activity we are promoting by Saunders Hotels, I can show you this brand new diversity and inclusion protocol, which is a completely new product for Saunders Hotels, by which Saunders and Beach aims to develop diversity management policies within travel companies in Italy, but also help them to achieve the LGBTQ plus marketing communication tools and strategies in order to address the LGBTQ plus traveler. The protocol is unique in Italy, no other comparison with it, and possibly nothing like this in the Europe. And it has been achieved. It has achieved RINA validation. RINA is an international certification body, and it has been validated by this by RINA. And this is quite important for us because it gives the label Queer Vadis approved a specific meaning for Italy, but for all those operators who want to travel with Italy. Why Queer Vadis approved? Queer Vadis, as we mentioned before, is this new portal, www.queervadis.com, which takes into consideration and showcases Italy as an LGBTQ plus destination. Within this portal, we are organizing some sections connected with all those activities, travel activities, destinations, hotels, convention bureaus, logistics, and so on, which are working within the Queer Vadis approved label, and they can give a very important signal to the Italian travel industry as being concretely inclusive towards all travelers, and specifically towards the LGBTQ plus traveler. What do we do as a Saunders and Beach in terms of promoting our activities? As we said before, we have Quickie Magazine as an online and offline magazine, Queer Vadis, just an online portal, and then we are members of the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association, as well as the Italian Travel Gay and Lesbian Association. We will be promoting the Milan Convention, Milan International Convention for Gay and Lesbian Travel in 2022. And also we do work with mainstream press in Italy. And of course, we have lots of connection under, let's say, for social sharing, such as Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. These are all the channels, the media we are working with in order to promote our protocol, this diversity and inclusion protocols, which is particularly important for us as a company, but of course for Italy itself, because it generates diversity management awareness for organizations and helps networking. Of course, it generates capacity of using language and the promotional tools in a neutral, professional way, which is something still lacking mainly in minor destinations in Italy. And the result of this work of ours is a fast-growing interest on the travel organization sides and destination, and Italian destinations. But now, what is the Italian profile as far as the LGBTQ plus travel industry is concerned? What we are seeing now is a growing awareness towards inclusion and diversity, a great will, a very strong will on the hotels side to be trained and to advocate for diversity and inclusion, a very strong focus on tackling harassment, and also, let's say, from a political point of view, during these days, we are discussing a new, very important law against homotransphobia. What's next? Well, first of all, what we can do is inviting you to have a look to Queer Vadis approved label, within queervadis.com portal. And if you like, a list within the queervadis.com portal as suppliers. And also consider that we are promoting the protocol in a very strong and fast way. Actually, hotel chains, private hotels, and as well as convention bureaus, and also ENIT is, and many destinations are in the pipeline and already working together and strengthening the protocol itself. Now, let's go into some more details about Saunders and Beach as history, as a new brand history for LGBTQ plus tour operating. Well, within Saunders and Beach, our tour operator is named TTG Italia, and it is the first Italian tour operator to specialize in LGBTQ plus tourism. It was founded by these two young guys you can see just in the central photos, Alessio Virgili and Andrea Cosimi, who as young travelers, young gay travelers, were well aware of which odds and the prejudices they had to face when traveling to some destinations. So they decided to prove themselves into this new adventure, which was the opening of a tour operator in 2007, 14 years ago. And they created this motto, which is travel free as you are. What do we do in order to help travelers meet Italy as a LGBTQ plus destination? Well, we are mainly focused on tailor-made tours in Italy, on untold history tours, which are our top product as far as inbound travel operations are concerned, and also wedding and honeymoons. Tailor-made tours are normally organized with food and wine gay tours. We are highly specialized in food and wine gay tours, daily tours and multi-day excursions. But also we can say that we help both individuals and couples to have the best possible experience in Italy as a same-sex individuals or couples. But we would like to just to have a couple of words about our most important product, which are the Untold History Tours. The Untold History Tours are guided walking tours in some Italian destinations, let's say main Italian destinations such as Rome, Florence, Venice, Milan, Turin, Naples, Taormina, Catania, Noto, and all destinations which have been already acknowledged as gay friendly. We work for the tourists to meet Italian art, food and wine experiences, and design, fashion, shopping, all activities which can be taken into consideration when traveling to Italy, but with a specific gay-friendly focus, with gay-friendly guides. Mainly our tours are directed to art and culture, and we have some examples here. For example, we have the Vatican Museums in a gay light, which is one of our top sellers in international markets. Homosexuality in the Ancient Rome, which is a visit in the Colosseum, the Palatine Forum, within 3 hours, in a 3-hour tour, and also something which is just outside Rome and a few travelers know about, which are the gay romance of Emperor Adrian and the Renaissance Villa d'Este. But also not only Rome, many other destinations, as we said before. We also have, for example, Florence with Michelangelo, and with a specific visit within the Accademia, the Museo del Bargello, and the visit of the historical center with a specific gay focus. We have also created this tour, which is the Call Me By Your Name movie tour, based on the famous Oscar-winning movie by Luigi Guadagnino, which was shot in Crema. Crema is a small town near Milan, about 30 kilometers from Milan. And we are now working on this to replicating the destination itself and the places where the movie was shot, which is not just in Crema, but also in other destinations such as the Lake Garda and Bergamo and the Cascades near Bergamo and so on. So this is a specific tour with a high concentration on outdoor activities. Also, another destination we are working on very well is Apulia. Apulia is growing fast as gay and lesbian destinations, specifically Valle d'Itria. Is a great surprise. It has been a great surprise in recent years how Valle d'Itria has been growing as a lesbian destination. Many entrepreneurs have been moving in Valle d'Itria, which is a fantastic, beautiful areas where Alberobello is, where Loco Rotondo is, where truly are, and it's specifically interesting because it has been growing as a lesbian destination. Lots of entrepreneurs have been investing in this area, coming from all over the world, and converting all the masserias, which means all the farms, local farms, into beautiful and luxury boutique hotels. So for this reason, Itria Valley is also a thriving destination for gay and lesbian weddings. But I will leave the word to Rosalie, my colleague Rosalie, on this subject in a few moments. Italy is a great wedding destination, even for LGBTQ plus couples. We have this new law, which is the civil union law, called also Legge Cirinna, which has been promoted in 2016, allowing same-sex couples to be able to live their lives in terms of a civil union. So for this reason, we are organizing destinations and creating cooperation and partnerships with wedding planners in order to implement, in order to embed in our products also honeymoons and wedding destinations. Few words just at the end, in order to leave the table to my colleague Rosalie. Just to remind everyone that Milan in 2022, and specifically from 26 to 29 October 2022, Milan will be the location of the International Convention of Gay and Lesbian Tourism, which is being organized by IGLTA, which is the International Gay and Lesbian Travel Association. We do expect lots of people in Milan for that time. Normally, we gather around 600-700 tour operators, media partners from all over the world. These are all numbers. We are very confident that Milan will gather even much more people than previously. So we do really believe that the convention is going to be a starting point to let Italy merge as a great LGBTQ plus destination in its whole. So I thank you. My name is Giovanna Ceccherini. Here you have my references, but also I will be with you in a few moments, in few minutes, in order to answer your question for any possible need you may have. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Giovanna. That was a whistle-stop tour. That was fantastic. Elle has just asked if she can have a copy of the presentation, if possible. So if you're happy to share it. Thank you so much. We are going to come to questions, but before we do, Rosalie, please could I hand over to you for your presentation?
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's share the presentation. Wait a second, and here we go. Okay.
There we go.
You can see it?
We can, perfect.
Okay, perfetto. I'm sorry. Bene. Here we go. So, speaker. Okay, so I see it also better. So let's speak about LGBT destination wedding in Italy. There is a new opportunity for tourism business. But let's introduce myself to all of you. My name is Rosalie Riva, Rosie, and I consider myself to be a citizen of the world, born in Brazil to a Tuscan family and raised in Belgium. I have a background in the luxury fashion industry, and I have been also chief of staff of a mayor in Tuscany. And then I step into entrepreneurship, becoming a destination wedding and equality marriage planner certified by the Gay Wedding Institute in New York. And I'm also a symbolic wedding celebrant. Moreover, I have the teaching in fashion retail luxury business in an important fashion institute based in Florence. And I'm the board member of FEDERMEP, which is the Italian National Association for Wedding and Private Events, that was born during the pandemic. So let's speak a little bit more about equality marriage planner. When I started to become a wedding planner, I wanted to assist all couples and to embrace everybody, because I always thought that love was universal, has no frontier, and was not only an affair between a man and a woman. And as a destination wedding planner, I'm very proud to work in Florence and in Tuscany. Why? Because many people don't know, just as Giovanna was saying before, the untold history that Italy is considered a very romantic place where to get married, but not much people know that Florence became a really gay wedding through riots that happened in 1512 in Firenze. So 500 years ago in Firenze assisted to have the first law to protect homosexuality. It's amazing when you think about that, but it's also amazing but when you think that people just as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Benvenuto Cellini were gay or bisexual and couldn't live free in Florence without any kind of problem due to this in particular. So what about the wedding in Italy? Let's speak a little bit more about weddings in Italy. Weddings in Italy, let's speak about 2019. Italy celebrated 185,000 weddings, including 2,297 same-sex civil union and more than 9,000 destination wedding. And among those destination weddings, 480 same-sex destination weddings, which correspond to a little bit more than 5% of the destination wedding in Italy. So, and these are numbers that I think that are important to know. And an average of the invitees for each destination wedding is to be considered around 47 people, and with spending euros of 54,000, and of course 1 year planning. And wedding in Italy correspond also to 15 billion euros as direct revenues and 25 billions as indirect and direct revenue as global one. And I think this is another important number that we could share. And also it corresponds to more than 1,785,000 overnight stays, which is really an important industry. You can imagine that. In fact, I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit further with my, okay. The wedding industry in Italy corresponds to 50,000 small and medium companies and employing 250,000 employees plus the seasonal. So it's really a huge business, as you may see. I don't know why you do you see my okay, yes. Speaking about the pandemic has profoundly affected many aspects of our lives, including the wedding. Many wedding has been postponed, and many couples now reconsider, where am I going to get married? In fact, for many couples now, the words for better or for worse in sickness and in health has assumed a very new and profound meaning. Uncertain times and make stronger commitment and prioritize partnership above all, which made that couples now that are able to travel more, that the travel restriction a little bit ease, and so forth, people have the tends, in fact, to get married abroad most of the time, and especially what's happening for the LGBTQ plus couples. After months of pandemic era post moments, couples are really dreaming to tie the knot, and to tie the knot abroad, to give a little bit more of exotism to their wedding. And the country, of course, that will attract them more will be the country that will make those couples generally welcome. And Italy is the one for sure. According, in fact, to many travel advisors, starting from next year, we should assist to an incredible increasing of LGBTQ plus wedding tourism in Italy. Thanks, as was saying before Giovanna, to the Cirina law that recognizes same-sex civil unions, combined with the beauties of Italy in terms of culture, architecture, authentic natural sites, with wine, culinary tradition, and much more. So, waiting for larger group to return, in fact, in the future, LGBTQ couple decide for smaller but spectacular and sophisticated wedding in authentic surrounding abroad, as I was saying before. So, and the LGBTQ couple, before, because of what I was saying before, are more convinced to choose Italy for their destination wedding. Moreover, hospitality, diversity, inclusion here are well ingrained into our Italian culture. In the area of social distances, the new trend for next year sounds to be that LGBTQ plus couple will consider mostly elopements or micro weddings, which will become the most popular. In fact, by hosting those smaller and intimate weddings, the couples will prefer to keep their weddings more personal, and in fact, to have mostly the immediate family members and closer friend with them. But smaller weddings doesn't mean to spend less money. In fact, LGBTQ couple are more oriented on travel experiences, and their budget is poured into specialized experience for smaller group of guests to enjoy more together and to share the uniqueness of such a destination wedding experience. Smaller groups, moreover, will permit the couples to incorporate extravaganza and unique details in their wedding, something that they couldn't be able to afford with a larger number of guests. So people's priority has changed. It's more clear they want to spend more money on experiences, photography, lighting, something more different and unique. In fact, couples are also looking for authenticity, and they want to feel and breathe like local, and this especially on LGBTQ plus couples. And they want to combine their wedding in something that match the sustainability, combined with local and genuine organic food. We also assist to something very strange. Even myself, recently, I've received many requests of couples who want to organize a pre-wedding getaway. Most of the time, there are couples that never leave the country. They organize everything online once they are comfortable with a planner. But the more we go further and the more the pandemic is changing these aspects, and people would like to have this pre-wedding getaway, which is beautiful, nice, and very particular. As Giovanna was saying, the most popular destination in Italy are Tuscany, Lombardy, Amalfi, Apulia, but also without forgetting Sardinia and Sicily. So, but in this case, how to choose really a trusted expert who will perfectly understand LGBTQ plus couple. This is the main goal. And this is the question that I popped to myself during this pandemic. And this is the reason why I decided to develop a brand new brand completely devoted only to LGBTQ couples to help them to realize the Italian marriage. And inside of this team, we have on one side Roberta Pompeo, which is she's a very important and well-known destination wedding planner, specialized also on Indian and Jewish wedding. And on the other side, Giulia Lazzarini, who is the wedding designer, and she's coming from the fashion industry. She's really amazing, and she was once also the creative director for the brand Roberto Cavalli for the leather goods. So it's a unique privilege to have both of them on board of this new experience. So why choosing Wed Me Gay? Because that's the brand. Simply because our wedding professional have a great ability to connect perfectly with same-sex couple. And we have announced our support of marriage equality from the very beginning of our activity. And we select very carefully all our vendors because the only thing that we tolerate is only love and acceptance. What are the couples looking for? In fact, when they organize their wedding in Italy, they are looking for storytelling. This is very important. Match with local traditions, which is super important for those people. They want to feel the nature, to feel the authenticity of the place that will host their big day. And of course, getting married will help also those couples to discover the undiscovered. On which point of view? Well, many kind of point of view. For a change, just to think about the choice of venue. The venue is really important, from castle to manors, etc. But each of those places will have to tell a story, and so the storytelling behind the wedding takes a very important part. Of course, the service of a planner are well known. There are tons, and we consider ourselves to be director of a big orchestra. And as a final, of course, the values that we continue to take are that we treat all people equally without any distinction in terms of age, race, language, disability, ethnicity, social origin, religious belief, gender identity, sexual orientation. And of course, we prohibit inside of our company any kind of discrimination, and we welcome everybody. So this is a short presentation. I hope you like it, and it's finito. Grazie.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much, Rosie. It was thrill. Another whistle-stop tour, and now I'm just dreaming of being in Italy right now.
Fantastico.
So we had some questions coming through, which is brilliant. Just a reminder, please do use the chat if you've got any questions that you want to put to the panelists. Firstly, Giovanna, I want to come to you and just pick up on the point you talked about. Saunders and Beach gives inclusivity training to various different hotels, tour operators, airlines. Just talk to us a little bit about what that training entails. What does good look like, from a hotel when you've kind of finished training with them? What can an LGBT couple expect from a hotel that you've trained, for instance?
Right. Well, thank you for the question, because it's extremely interesting, and I think it can really explain well what we do for hotels and for destinations. Actually, the LGBTQ plus traveler in general can expect, let's say, a very well-focused service, considering his or her expectations. What does it mean? It means that fundamentally at the reception desk, for example, he or she will be treated with a very neutral language. We'll find a lot of, let's say, material such as brochures or maps, considering the most attractive areas for the LGBTQ plus scenery. It will not be looked upside down. I mean, it will be very. All hotels are trained to be really hospitable. I mean, most of all, what we are trying to teach them is the use of a neutral language, and this is particularly important for Italian, because Italian is a language with lots of declinations. So it's very important to use declination in a correct way. So use a neutral language also when making marketing campaigns, when addressing or focusing with social posts or whatsoever. It becomes extremely important to address the community in a correct way, without any prejudice, and tackling harassment whenever it comes up. Mm-hmm. So this is what we are trying to teach. And actually the protocol itself leads the organization to create their own governance manual. They are able to create their own governance manual, considering the approach they are let's say, the approach they must have towards diversity management, which is extremely important for us. Mm-hmm. I mean, many organizations in Italy still have to learn a lot about diversity management. Mm-hmm. And our advocacy is also in that direction, helping them to mature, to make them aware of what it means to have good value because of diversity, and how to manage diversity in the best, correct way. Mm-hmm. This is what we are trying to do. So it's not just about traveling. Our mission is not just about traveling. We say that it's something else, it's something more. We are trying to educate, first of all, because if we are good at educating, then we are good at making people traveling in the right way, with the best possible experiences.
And Scott here makes the point, perhaps, when hotels sometimes query if you call up and then they say, oh, have you made a mistake booking a matrimonial bed?
Well, that happens sometimes, yes. Yes. And well, actually, what we normally say is just consider the reservation as it comes in.
Yeah.
No changes at all. Yeah. No changes. Don't try to give up to give a twin room instead of a double room if a double room is requested.
Yeah, exactly.
And this is sometimes still happens. It still happens sometimes, but we are really trying to make people understand that the request, the customer request, the customer inquiry is what they really has to consider. No changes, and in case it's possible to discuss the type of rooms, but if it's a double, it's a double. If it's a twin, it's a twin.
Yeah. And Roberto makes that point that is a big concern for LGBT plus people.
Absolutely.
Flavio, just wanted to come to you, and fantastic that we have this event. Talk to us about why the LGBT plus market is so important to you. You really want to embrace it, and some of the findings in the research. Were you surprised by any of them? Were you happy with them?
Oh, thank you, Sophie. Yeah, it is indeed very, very important. As I mentioned during the presentation, it is 2 years ago in 2019. It estimated that it was 2.7 billion euros only, and considering that the perception about Italy as an LGBT is not 100% yet what we would like to. So imagine if we really get the message across that Italy is welcoming, how much more money can arrive to our tourist operators and hospitality in Italy to help them. It's not only, of course, for the money, it's also, as Joanna said, we want to educate the Italian reception in Italy, not only, I mean, the whole country, of course, but in our case, the tourism sector, and to make everybody feel safe and comfortable, especially when they arrive to Italy. So we are doing a really, we started into this direction. We are very happy. So there's still a lot to do, and but we are on the right direction. And as far as the findings, they are pretty much what I was expecting, in line what I was expecting, to be honest with you. That hence this campaign we do with TTG, of course, because we weren't expecting to be 100% the perception welcoming. Yeah. So we hope to disprove some of this misconception, but of course take on board some feedback and some suggestion to better our welcoming in Italy for the LGBT. One more thing that I just want to add, that a lot of feedback was about that a little is known about Italy, parts of Italy, region in Italy, who are more welcoming than others. So, so far we've been promoting Italy as a whole, that's true. So probably we should concentrate on some parts of Italy to recommend some parts of Italy more than others. And for this, just if I may, I would like to share, we don't have it in the UK, but our colleagues in America, they're on their website, I'll share it on the chat, there is a bit of LGBT on the website as well. There's a magazine, a brochure on LGBT made in collaboration with Joanna and Quickly magazine and our colleagues in America. I share it here. So from there there is a bit of explanation about Italy and what parts of Italy are more, and some itineraries and what are more recommendable than others.
Oh, fantastic. And I can see you put those links in the chat. Yeah. So all of those watching today, they can use.
Yeah, they are, of course, in English, right? It's from our American colleagues. So
brilliant. Yeah. Okay. And you actually mentioned about the different areas of Italy. We did have a question from Scott earlier saying that asking if all the regional tourist boards are engaged in promoting their regions as gay-friendly destinations. He does say we find it difficult to engage with Puglia, for instance. Is it a sort of countrywide?
Oh, there's a different engagement from region to region. It can be different, not because of LGBT, for
sure.
other reasons. It's not specifically because of the LGBT.
Yeah.
But I'm quite surprised, and I'm sorry to hear that about Puglia. But Scott, was it? If we get in touch later in the room, because Puglia is actually one of the regions who promotes more LGBT. So together with Lombardy, Piedmont, Puglia is one of the ones that they are more active in promoting LGBT. So that's why I'm surprised, and we can talk about it later with Scott then, because
that's what the networking's for.
Yeah.
Have this conversation. We seem to have lost Rosalie. I'm not sure where she is.
I'm here.
You can see. I can't see your screen. A huge apologies. That could be mine.
I don't know why, but I'm here. Really, believe me.
Okay, well, we have you. That's great. Rosie, I wanted to ask you about demand from the UK, and if you've seen a sort of growing demand for gay weddings from the UK at all. Is it sort of it's been something that's been increasing? Because I think it was interesting. Flavia was saying that in the findings that 21% of people who took the survey weren't actually aware that same-sex unions, were now allowed in Italy. Presumably that knowledge is sort of getting out there, but how big is the UK market for you, Rosie?
The UK market is pretty important. You have to know that on destination wedding, the UK market for Italy corresponds to number 1. So you can believe how important this market is. And of course, the LGBT tourism is a niche market and made by a high spending audience that will continue to rise. And as Giovanna was saying before, it is very important to educate the more we go further, our people in regards the hospitality, to welcoming everybody in a very proper manner, starting from the neutral language. For example, no later than last week, I received a phone call from a a woman who's starting to ask me questions about the possibility of organizing a wedding. And from the very beginning, I didn't know who that person was. So I just continued to speak in a very neutral language. And at the very end, that person has said to me, "You are the right person for me, because it's the first, you are the only planner with whom I spoken with that never asked, what about your husband? Because I'm not going to have a husband, I'm going to have a wife." So really, the problem of the language is really important, and I want to underline this. And we're talking about what was also Flavio saying before. Tuscany is considered the #1 destination in Italy for destination weddings, and is also very interesting for LGBTQ. Tuscan region is doing a lot also to promote LGBTQ tourism. Try to train as much as possible the people in terms of hospitality.
Okay, that's really interesting. Okay. We've got some questions and some discussion going on about marketing here. Let's bring me to my next point, because Elle was flagging that she sees lots of LGBT marketing featuring 2 men, but rarely any with women. Someone else is saying, Roberto is saying, it would be really nice to see the inclusion of transgender people. Very often we see white gay men representing everyone. And that's a really interesting point about marketing. I mean, how conscious are all 3 of you in terms of marketing? You know, do you try and make sure you've got just as many women in your marketing as men, and also transgender people? Giovanna, I'll come to you, and then Rosie, and then Flavio. Oh,
right. So, well, the majority of gay market is male gay market. So let's say it's more or less 70%. Actually, we have now started. We've been starting about 3 years ago to include women into our promotions, because we have some destinations, such as, for example, Venice, where the LGBTQ plus community, talking about the lesbian community, is particularly strong, is very important. So what we are doing now is trying to promote time after time a specific attention to lesbian couples, lesbian individuals, lesbian couples, and also we are now considering also rainbow families. We are trying to consider also rainbow families, as well as transgenders. Transgenders do not represent any kind of problem for us. If we are very good at training hotels, training organizations, training logistics, and so on, whenever they may meet transgender people, they should not have any specific prejudice or whatever. What is important is when they check in, for example, in hotels, sometimes documents do not perfectly comply with what they represent at the moment. Sometimes documents talks about masculine sex, and they are already on a transaction, and they have already acquired the feminine sex. So sometimes this can be quite odd, quite difficult to accept, mainly for at the reception desk, for example, when talking to people, when addressing to people. So, and this is one of the main aspects we consider when training hotels, because the transgender target is growing. Is growing in recent years. So we may see more and more transgenders in future years than we are seeing now in these years. And also we try to give some information about safety travels. What does it mean? It means the way you can travel in complete safety when you are at the airport, for example, and you go for a screening or to something like that. And sometimes it can be quite difficult to make a policeman understand what you really are. Yeah. So it's a tough job, actually. But anyway, we are trying to help the organization to better understand how to talk to diversity in its generality, because it's very important to, first of all, to acquire the correct language and the correct approach. Let's say no prejudices, no stigmas, no bottom up or so, and behaviors like that.
Yeah.
This may still happen, mainly when we talk about, say, for example, in restaurants with some waiters who are not particularly attentive to the persons they are serving, and sometimes this still happen in some contexts. But actually, we are trying to correct them.
Yeah, because
not going to do the whole work.
Yeah, to Rosie's point, language matters, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And Rosie, we've also got the point made about how a lot of young people are used in marketing images, and actually, we've got to acknowledge that the LGBT market covers younger people, more mature adults. What about your marketing? Are you sort of geared towards more women, towards more men, or do you just try and make sure your marketing's fully inclusive of young people, old people?
I try to be as much as possible inclusive, and in the picture I use are pictures of weddings I did, and we have all couples, so younger and less younger, women, men. So it's not a question. They are human beings and they deserve the respect. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
When we organize a wedding or an event for LGBTQ plus community, as from the very beginning, as I said, all the vendors, all the people with whom I work with, and all the location, and even in the catering I use, the catering, I control each people working in the catering. It's very important because all those people are coming here to celebrate a very important event, their big day. So they must be relaxed, happy, to be free to be out whenever in the open. And this is really important. So wherever they are going to be in the places that we have organized for them, is not going to be any problem, of course. That's and the more we go further, our job, I think, is super, super important because it helps educating all the people with whom we work with. And this is the main goal. It's not only a question of being a professional organizing a wedding, is also being able to train and to better all the people that work in the hospitality.
Yeah. I am conscious of time, and I do want to make sure we've got time for networking. But Flavio, just wanted to come to you for the last word, really. I mean, you picked up that some in the survey said that they weren't aware that Italy was hugely friendly towards LGBT people. They had misperceptions about because it's a religious country, that perhaps it was a bit conservative. I assume your final message, and hopefully everybody's got the message from today, that Italy is waiting with arms.
Yeah.
Couples can feel excited and safe traveling around.
Definitely, no, absolutely. That I can see. There is, of course, a long way to go yet, but there are definitely things that changed in Italy lately. I mean, quite recently, unfortunately, not in a long time, but I must say in the last at least 10 years, the mentality is way more open-minded, and they can come really safely and feeling comfortable in Italy now. So they're all welcome, and for a wedding or for honeymoon or just for a holiday.
And for World Pride in 2025 in Rome.
Exactly. Hopefully, they're candidated. I can't remember the other city, but definitely for the Pride. Or every year there is all cities, beautiful cities, can be an occasion to go, an opportunity to go to Italy and go to a bigger event as well. The Pride, or can be a film festival or other events. There are a lot of events in Italy, really, also for LGBT.
Fantastic. Thank you so much to everyone. I'm sorry that we're running out of time, but of course, everyone watching can put your questions and any more networking that you want to do with our networking session shortly. And thank you as well. Michelle, that's very kind comments of you, and Paul was saying, it's really helpful, and a huge thank you to all of the panel for such an informative session. And I've learned a lot as well. So thank you very much.